The final work of one of the ABC's finest journalists is being launched today. Lake Eyre, A Journey Through the Heart of the Continent, is Paul Lockyer's book and contains his stories and pictures from a part of Australia he loved.
Written by Paul, the book also features the work of ABC cameraman John Bean and ABC chopper pilot Gary Dicehurst, who also died alongside him when their helicopter crashed, of course, at Lake Eyre last year. Joining us from Sydney are Paul's two sons, Jamie and Nick Lockyer. Boys, good morning to you.
G'day, Michael. How are you?
Hello, Michael.
I'm well. Nick, Paul finished this book, I think, weeks before he died last year, and it really is a fitting testament to how passionate he was about this part of Australia.
Yeah, well, Michael, it wasn't actually weeks before. It was a matter of pretty much hours before they left. I mean, he finished the book on the Monday night, and then they all left for the Lake Eyre on the Wednesday morning. And I mean, that was the trip where they didn't come back. And yeah, I mean, when you read it, it's just it is really an incredible tribute to not only his career but to the career of John Bean and Gary Dicehurst as well. The images in there are just hauntingly beautiful.
Jamie, why do you think Lake Eyre fired your dad's imagination so much?
Michael, I think it was basically because of the beauty of Lake Eyre and also the people. Tour guide like Rex Ellis, he's quoted in the book saying that Muslims like to go to Mecca and Aussies like to go to Lake Eyre, and it's so true. I mean, it's something that it just attracts, the Aussies, to get away from the coastal land and head inside, because it's just so beautiful.
And we're looking at some of those, as Nick said, just fantastic images from the book. And Nick, it was often the case that he'd come home and be almost fanatical about his latest trip to Lake Eyre, to the point of potentially driving you guys and your mum crazy.
Oh, look, it was unreal how much he'd just bang on about this place. I mean, he'd often... we wouldn't actually know whether he was joking or not, whether he'd suggest a sea change out to outback southern Australia to mum often. And look, just adding to what Jamie said, I mean, I think what he really loved about when Lake Eyre flooded was that he'd seen these all these families out in the bush struggle for 10 years with one of the worst droughts that Australia's ever seen, and then to see all the land prosper, it was just such a joy for him to see all these families really prosper with the land.
And Jamie, above all else, I mean, it'll be hugely popular with his many fans around the country, but this book is going to be a nice little keepsake for you two and your mum.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Michael. Really, at the end of the day, it's such an amazing legacy to leave behind. Such an amazing book, and, contributed with photos from Gary Dicehurst and John Bean. It's an amazing thing to keep, and we've got that forever. So what an amazing legacy to leave behind.
And it's very fitting indeed that John and Gary's work loom large in this book. And Nick, finally, reading this book, it struck me that one thing about it was that above and beyond Paul's terrific TV presence, he was one of the best communicators in the business. He was also a fantastic writer.
Well, the man could write, couldn't he? I mean, it was just amazing reading through the book. I mean, I finished it probably about last week and was just absolutely captivated. I mean, we're just so proud of him, and those words that all 10,000 words of it. I mean, it was such a joy to read, and such an honour to be, to do this for him today. We're launching the book, so it's with great pride that we sit here today.
And it's with great pride we have you on the program. Nick and Jamie, thank you both very much.
Thanks,
Michael.
Cheers.